The value of the coin was recorded at 64.2000, while the current value has reached 63.0400, with a previous day's closing value of 64.1400. This indicates a positive movement of 0.0600 or 0.09% in the opposite direction of the rates. This inquiry pertains to the projected value of the United States dollar for the years 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027, as well as the anticipated cost projection for Aave in August 2023. Primarily, the cost at 65.4 represents the highest expenditure. The least cost is 70.0. The average value for the month is 49.8. Approximately 59.7% of the cost estimate is allocated towards the expenses incurred during the current month. The observed change in value for August is 53.5, with a discount of 18.2% applied to United States dollars. The projected expectations for September 2023 indicate a starting cost of $53.5, with the highest anticipated cost. The cost of leasing is 59.9. The average value for the month is 41.8. There is a reduction of 50.0 units in the cost estimate for the upcoming months, with an additional decrease of 44.9 units specifically for September. Furthermore, there is an expected reduction of 16.1% in the cost estimate for October 2023. The highest cost recorded is 44.9 units. The expenditures associated with leasing amount to 44.9. The average temperature for the month is 38.7 degrees. 42.5% of the cost allocation pertains to the monthly expenses, while 41.6% represents the variation observed on October. 7.3% decrease in relation to the projected United States dollar expectations for November 2023. Initially, the cost at 41.6 is the highest price point. The lease cost is 49.1. The average value for the month is 41.6. The cost gauge experienced a decrease of 44.6 units over the course of several months, followed by a subsequent increase of 45.9 units on November. This movement represents a 10.3% deviation from the expected cost for December 2023, which had started at 45.9 units, making it the highest cost recorded. The least costs amount to 45.9. The average temperature for the month is 38.8 degrees. The cost estimate allocation for the specified period is 43.1%, with a subsequent shift of 41.7% expected on December. Additionally, there is a deviation of 9.2% in relation to the projected value in United States dollars for January 2024. Primarily, the cost amounts to 41.7, which is the highest expense. The lease costs amount to 42.3. The average temperature for the month is 36.7 degrees. The cost estimate for the months is 40.1, with a change of 39.5 for January. There is a 5.3 decrease in cost forecast for February 2024, starting from an initial cost of 39.5, which is the maximum cost. The expenditure associated with leasing, amounting to 40.6 units. The average temperature for the month is 35.2 degrees. The cost estimate for the upcoming months is 38.3 off, while there is a 37.9 change for February. This is a 4.1% decrease in United States dollars predictions for WOC 2024. The initial cost is set at 37.9, with the possibility of reaching maximum expenses. The lease costs amount to 37.9. The average value for the month is 32.8. The cost number for the months amounts to 36.0, while there is a change of 35.3 specifically for the spring season. The cost deviation for April 2024 is 6.9 units below the initial cost estimate of 35.3 units, representing the maximum cost. The least cost is 43.8. The average value for the month is 35.3. The cost gauge experienced a decrease of 38.8 units over the course of several months, followed by a change of 40.9 units on April, 15.9% off the expectations in United States dollars for May 2024. The biggest cost observed throughout this period was 40.9 units. The expenditures associated with leasing amount to 40.9. The average value for the month is 32.0. Approximately 37.1% of the cost estimate is allocated towards the expenses incurred during the current month. The observed change in cost for May 2024 is 34.4 units, representing a 15.9% deviation from the anticipated cost. This deviation is expected to persist through June 2024, with the initial cost set at 34.4 units, which is the highest cost recorded. The expenditure associated with leasing, amounting to 34.4 units. The average value for the month is 26.9. The cost gauge had a decrease of 31.2 units over the course of several months, followed by a change of 28.9 units on June. Furthermore, there is an anticipated decrease of 16.0 units in United States dollars for the month of July in the year 2024. Initially, the cost was recorded at 28.9, which represents the highest cost. The least cost is 34.8. The average value for the month is 28.9. 31.3% of the cost allocation pertains to the monthly expenses, while 32.5% represents the change for the month of July. Additionally, 12.5% of the cost projection is attributed to the anticipated expenses for August 2024. The initial cost is set at 32.5%, which represents the maximum expenditure. The concept of least costs at 32.5 units. The average value for the month is 26.6. The cost gauge for the month of August experienced a decrease of 30.1 units, amounting to a change of $28.6. This represents a reduction of 12% in comparison to the initial cost. Looking ahead to September 2025, the expectations for the cost in United States dollars indicate a starting point of 12.3 units, which is the highest anticipated value. The concept of least costs refers to the economic principle of minimizing expenses or expenditures. The average value for the month is 12.3. Approximately 13.6% of the cost estimate is allocated towards the months, while there is a 14.3% change for September. This change corresponds to a 16.3% decrease in the USD to OFF swapping scale, which is equivalent to 0.0156 OFFs per $1. Currently, the exchange rate stands at 0.0152 to 0.0159, compared to the earlier rate of 0.0156.